Welcome to EF Pod English. Brought to you by EF Education First and English Town. Learn anytime, anywhere. Pod English Upper Intermediate 77. Studying English. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to use linking words, also called discourse markers. We're going to look at using well and for example. Before we watch the movie, I'll teach you some vocabulary which may be new to you. For example, variations. We use this word when there is a slight difference between things of the same type. For example, there are many variations of the Chinese language. This means although there is one language, it may be different from place to place. Linguistics. This is the study of languages. Are you ready to watch the movie? An examiner is asking a student several questions about his study plans.
Okay, let me start by asking you a little about yourself. Why are you studying English?
Mainly because English allows me to communicate with people from all over the world. And I hope to study abroad and maybe even work in an English-speaking country one day.
So, where do you hope to study?
Well, I've applied to several places in the States and one in England.
And what would you like to study?
Well, I'm interested in reading, so maybe I'll study English literature. I'm also quite interested in linguistics, so maybe I'll study languages as well.
Okay, so you're interested in the different variations of English spoken around the world. Can you tell me some of the differences between American and British English?
Well, for one example, the present perfect tense is less commonly used in American English. For example, a British speaker will say, "Have you eaten?" But an American speaker will say, "Did you eat?"
Good. Can you think of anything else?
Well, there are many variations in vocabulary. For example,
Discourse markers such as well, for example, indicate what's coming next, and they connect ideas when we speak. They also give us a little bit of time to think. How does the student start his answer when the examiner asks, "What do you hope to study?" Let's watch again to see.
well, I'm interested in reading, so maybe I'll study English literature.
He says, "Well, I've always enjoyed reading, so I hope to study English literature." The student uses well to gain some time while he thinks of his answer. Let's look at another example from the movie. What does he do here?
Well, for one example, the present perfect tense is less commonly used in American English. For example, a British speaker will say, "Have you eaten?" But an American speaker will say, "Did you eat?"
The student answers the question and then wants to link his answer to more information. So he says, "For example." By saying "for example," the listener knows what's coming next too. First, let's listen to some examples using discourse markers. Then repeat.
Well, I've applied to several places in the States and one in England.
Let's repeat that. Well, I've applied to several places in the States and one in England. Let's try another one.
Well, I'm interested in reading, so maybe I'll study English literature.
Now repeat after me again. Well, I've always enjoyed reading, so I hope to study English literature. Well done! Today we've learned about two discourse markers. Well, for example. Join us again soon for another lesson. Bye!